got roughly 10 to 15 different scenarios that we can do to break. Explodeme.com is the website. I'll be breaking more, and you've got.
Yeah, it's called Imagesaur.
Imagesaur.explodeme.com. Actually, can you send that to John so we make sure that gets out to everybody in case they need that, so everybody can access it? A horrible shot. Okay, I got it. So we'll do a round me versus him. You guys can see kind of how it plays out. You can, if you want credentials, email team@schematical.com, and Dominic will get you credentials. Besides that, yeah, I'll do the first one, and then maybe we'll switch, or we'll, see if someone wants to volunteer in. Speak up. This is collaborative, okay? So I know you're going to have some ideas there. I'm going to play dumb probably the first round, so feel free to coach me. And this is supposed to be a way for everybody to learn and benefit from this. So now that we're live, I'm going to do a real quick recap of what we're using for yours. Tell me if I'm wrong here. I'll Vanna White this.
Yep.
So.
Actually, if we want, I'm trying to share my screen down.
Oh.
If you put that up, then you can show the website and then you can explain the infrastructure. All right, so we have a pretty basic image processing website here. So I can upload an image, and then a background worker will process the image into a thumbnail, 100 by 100. So we'll just grab an image here. Uploading, it's processing, it pings the server, and then we get the thumbnail back. So pretty basic. So yeah, the front end is hosted on the internet. We go, all DNS is in Route 53, which is an AWS service. And the requests are routed to CloudFront, which is a CDN. And then basically the front end website is hosted on S3. Then the front end makes API calls to a back end server that goes through a load balancer. It's an application load balancer to a Docker container running on ECS, which is AWS Elastic Container Service. And that backend server will upload the images to an S3 bucket, which will then trigger a AWS Lambda, which is basically like ad hoc function calls, serverless function calls.
What's it in GCP, do you know?
I have no idea.
Okay.
And that actually creates the thumbnail and then puts it back in an S3 bucket, and that's how we were able to load it, the new thumbnail through the backend server. All right. So I just demonstrated that we can process images, and now I just need to.
You're still sharing your screen. Let me grab the screen.
No, but I'm only sharing the website.
Okay, all right, sounds good. I was afraid you were going to show them what you're breaking.
No, but I mean, if you want to go ahead and start sharing your screen, you can.
Okay, so I'll play in the hot seat. Shout it out if you see something that I'm not seeing. And I actually have an idea what he's doing for the first one, but most of the ones he's doing, I don't know what he's doing. So we didn't tell each other.
You do have an idea.
Oh, you do? Oh, okay, all right, good. I was afraid you used the one that we warmed up with yesterday.
I mean, you've seen it before.
All right, I was gonna try and slow it down and not overshoot it this time. Okay, you guys can all see that. You don't need to see that. All right, so I'm gonna go to your website. Okay, that's good. I've got help.
I mean, I guess I should have continued. Am I still sharing my screen?
I think that's my screen. I think forward. Yeah, that's my screen.
Yeah, let me share my screen again.
Okay.
Sorry.
Sorry, we're working the kinks out of this.
Okay, so I uploaded another image and it's processing. And we're just gonna have to wait a little bit. Things breaking isn't always exciting.
No. That's to say, yeah, a bunch of this stuff takes a while to break.
Yeah.
Wait till we get to the build pipeline section of things. That takes a while. But the pizza will be here by then, so we can play as you all eat pizza.
So we just got a processing timeout, and that's what's broken.
All right.
So.
Cool. So I'm sharing again. I'll drive. I'll be the hands here, but I am definitely going to go around the room and ask for suggestions of things to do to fix this. Share screen. All right. So first thing I'm going to do is double check that whoever from customer service called me and said there was a problem. I don't know. I feel like I should upload my own image to double check. Upload successful. My goodness. So now there's still obviously a problem. So
well, I will just note it wasn't that you couldn't upload. It's
that it's
processing time.
Yeah. So anybody, what would you do next in this scenario here?
Zero WAF in front of it.
Zero WAF in front of it. That's a good question. We can take a look at that. Let's go through and look at that. So first thing I'm going to do is check out EC. Actually, it'd be that's not ECS. So the load balancers are actually in EC2. So we go down here, load balancers, and we can check to see. He's got the dev ALB here, just the one, and we can check. I believe it's integrations, and let's see if there's WAF not integrated. So. Now, for those of you guys that aren't AWS aficionados, put on your hat and say, if someone from customer service came to you and said, hey, this one image won't upload, and you upload a random image, what would you do next if that your image worked?
See if you can get the image that didn't upload.
All right, can I get that image?
Sure.
Is it?
Do you want to just go pull it from the S3 bucket?
No, just DM it to me.
Okay. All right.
I mean, I could go do that, but like customer service is not going to do that. So
That's
good answer.
You mind just when making so
Yes,
get it if you don't.
I will do my best. Yes. Trying to remember what the question was.
All right, I sent it to you on Discord.
All right. So Discord. All right. Directed. All right. All right. So we're going to download this. Let's see. Save image as. All right.
And just,
Did I screw it up?
well, I think one, you should keep going, but
I screwed it up. I could see it. We'll try that.
yeah.
This is on me for Discord, not save image
Yeah, I
as.
mean, if you share an image via,
It shrinks it?
it
Okay.
might, I don't know.
Well, we're kind of, this is on me.
See if it works.
I'm going to, okay. Well, we're learning things here. Has anybody in the audience picked up on what he's doing here, what the problem is? Okay. Yeah, that's, so good answer. Let's try and use the full image that I'm going to grab. No one pay attention to the fact that I'm totally stealing this out of the bucket right now. So. All right, so I'm going to throw this 9.1 megabyte image up there. It seemed to have worked. Is that the right one? 9.1. Interesting. 8.7. It's interesting. 8.7 there. I wonder, am I downloading the wrong thing?
I think if you go back to the website,
Go back to the website.
it's, again, just to keep us on track, it's not that it's not uploading. We're waiting for it to process, and it's
Oh, that's
timing
right.
out while it's processing.
That's on my end there. Okay. I should have refreshed the page. It's not uploading the state. Yeah. Okay. So it does say processing. All right. Wonderful. Okay. So it appears, I think you pointed out, image size seems to be a factor here. Does anybody want, where would you go from here? We'll wait for it to process. It's going to time out. Any ideas where you'd go next? So,
You look at the logs of the container.
the container, yes, we can look at the logs of the container, absolutely. If I go to Trello. Let's see, so service logs. Let's see. We're gonna go to CloudWatch logs. I like it. I prefer that view. And give me a relative of 5 minutes.
For
Okay.
those of you that don't have great AWS experience, CloudWatch is the service for logs, metrics, events in AWS.
Okay, so we've got some health checks in there. We've got a 404 here. And we can send out you've got your code available to people if we need to crawl through that too, right?
Yeah.
So, but to speed things along, if I'm not mistaken, you're polling and basically checking ever so often.
That is correct.
Okay.
So you'll see a lot of those 404s.
Yeah. Cool. So, what would you like to look for in the logs?
Anything suspicious, I don't know AWS that well.
Okay. So, actually,
Timeouts or files too big or cannot find input or anything like that.
excellent. So in here, right now, we're not seeing that in this spot here, but I'm going to remind you that this doesn't handle the process. That's BCS. So basically, the Docker container uploads it to the binary file storage, right? S3. The worker is the process. So, I want to go check the worker, which is a Lambda. All right, let's go check that out. Connecting the dots is always the most interesting part, especially if you get dropped into another person's system that you're not familiar with. It's like connecting those dots is always exciting the first time. All right, let's check out the monitoring. And we're going to drop this down to custom. Actually, we'll go to the logs, you said, right? Logs. Go there. Nope, not logs. I don't need to do that. And give me search log groups. And let's go custom. I'm going to give it 10 minutes since I've been talking a bunch. Let's see what we got in here. I'm going to go text so we get a little more room. Maybe not. No. Look at this text already. All right. So this stuff looks fairly standard. It's finding credentials. Process bytes 0. That's an interesting one. So it's processing an image. Good. This is kind of the start of it, looks like.
Is anyone else, I mean, I know that y'all are in control, but is anyone else noticing, I guess it's kind of hard to read, but in the upper logs there, might have been some other information. Did anyone else notice anything?
In the credentials I sent out, can't get you access to all this.
Yeah. That's all right.
From back here, I see some metrics for some jobs and some missing metrics from other jobs. I can't quite make it out. Nice.
Okay. So yeah, we're looking at duration in milliseconds, 2,000.
Your phone.
It's, all right. Oh, wrong one. Okay. Yeah, it's sensitive. I should switch to using a mouse. This is. Give me a sec. Okay, that's. And if we get stuck, we can work on some hints there. Let me get a mouse going now.
Do you need a hint? I will say this is the hint. There is an indication currently sitting on screen. in the log that is visible.
So is it the status?
That is correct.
So the status is timeout. Well, so you probably know lambdas, yeah? Where would we check to see where a lambda, if it's timing out or not? All right, let's get over here with an actual mouse. Configuration. 2 seconds and 128 megabytes of memory. Is that enough to process this size of image?
No, it is not.
All right. Good. Throwing stuff at us. Okay. So, you're good. How would we fix this in theory? I'll give you a clue.
Increase the amount of memory.
Yeah, you can do that. Probably the timeout too. Probably the timeout. We'll give it a good 30 seconds. Let's see. And let's do the memory. I don't know. We're at, it's in megabytes.
You'd probably find doubling it.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Do I need 512? All right, 256. Let's do it. Save. Let me see if it works. Let's refresh. I'm going to go from scratch here, select. And now we play the waiting game. So that is one round. I think, yep, there we go. Thumbnail created successfully.
Well done.
Good job, team. So, excellent. All right, now we reset for another round. You guys feel like you kind of got the feel of how this goes? Cool. All right. Those of you with laptops, again, feel free to log in.
The other thing is you can also join the stream on your computer if you want to, so you could see the screen better if you can't read the logs up here.
Yeah, that could work. So,
Can we do that?
Was that?
If people want to join the stream,
Oh,
so they can see it.
you sent that out in emails?
Correct.
Okay.
Oh,
Got
okay.
it. Okay. All right. Do you want to repair yours? I'll set mine up and we'll go from there.
Yep.
All right. Does anybody wish to volunteer to be in the hot seat? Otherwise, he's in the hot seat. Okay. And again, it's collaborative. Just have some fun with it. I'm not sharing. All right, good.
Talk about resetting. Do you have some scripts to set everything up?
Terraform.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah,
You
we just Terraform. So for me personally, I don't know how he's setting it up, but I have Terraform for the application that sets up all the infrastructure, and then I have a separate repo with some Terraform code that basically imports different infrastructure items that makes the changes to break things effectively. And for those that don't know, Terraform is a tool that's called infrastructure as code that allows you to basically declare all your infrastructure in, a code repo, keep it in source control.
Do you have an example, maybe, Jonathan?
Yeah, we can look at some Terraform.
Actually, I'm ready.
Okay.
We'll demo this Terraform in just a bit. So, all right. I am ready to share when you're ready, Tom. So, if you go to explodeme.com, theoretically, it should be up, or not possibly. It was up a second ago. Yeah, this one's gonna take a minute, but. Oh, something's wrong with it. All right. So, someone from the gallery, what would be the first thing? All right, you work at explodeme.com, the boss comes running in, explodeme.com is down, it's showing this weird site cannot be reached. What's the first thing you do? I'm gonna let you drive that for me.
Yeah.
What's the HTTP return code on that?
What's the HTTP return code? Sorry, I'm repeating it for the camera guys.
So I'm gonna look at the console.
Your console's not showing up on the screen if you just share the window. Just so you know.
Oh, it is.
Yeah, just the tab. Like, I think it's just the browser tab. You gotta share the whole browser.
Yeah, I can't do that without restarting Chrome. All right.
All right, just narrate it. Well, okay, actually, wait a second. You all got browsers in your computer. You guys could check the status code from there. But he can narrate it as well. And if you do get to explodeme.com, let me know.
I'll just do the following.
I do not like this angle, Dominic.
You should go with the bigger screen, so you move exactly up there.
Maybe you can just go ahead and show that.
All right, I'll
keep leading it through it.
all right, I'll walk real quick. 1 second, share screen. See, we get our own technical difficulties. We could solve all these giant, massive website problems. For God's sakes, doing a simple Zoom share. All right, here we go. No network activity, actually. Interesting. I wonder if my browser's freezing now.
So, yeah, does anyone have an idea if there's not any network activity showing in the console, what that might indicate?
There we go.
John, it says your devices are not connected.
I don't know what that even means.
You didn't put your camera on. That's what it's telling me here.
I can keep driving while you get that sorted out. Okay, DNS issue. I like it. So let's go to where DNS is hosted at. Hosted zones. There's only 2 of them. One of them is explodeme.com. And hopefully this is big enough that you guys can see it. I'll expand that. We've got some fun to be had there. So DNS is pretty much universal. So you guys tell me what you're seeing or not seeing. I guess I will say there are aliases in AWS. So we've got a explodeme.com name server record, an SOA record. We've got some C names and A's for his stuff, which again, this is not related to his, and I can tell you that this stuff here is not related to this right here. And we've got our www.explodeme.com A record right there, which is pointed at cloudfront.net, which is actually, that's actually the API gateway. It says CloudFront, but don't ask me why they have it like that. So what do you guys see and what are you guys missing? Sorry, I'm not trying to keep scrolling. I'm trying to make it all fit on the screen perfectly. There we go. Just to make things easier, I'm gonna, the ones that are relative to this exercise are these 2 here. and this one down here. So none of these other in the middle. Ignore everything I've got highlighted there. They're not relevant.
So what I'm seeing is that I don't recall specifically, but I'm not sure we visited www.explodeme.com. Is that?
Would we like to visit www.explodeme.com? Those of you on your laptops definitely can play along at home. Interesting. So www works, but explodeme.com does not work. Any guesses?
Need a top level A record.
Top level A record for?
Exploding.com.
Let's give that a shot. I like it. All right. No subdomain A record. We are going to alias it to, and remember, the API gateway. So this is going to point at the API gateway there. In for some reason, it gives me every region but my own. North Virginia. I'm going to go with that. And we're going to find out. I'm actually not completely sure that's it, but let's find out. And this will take a minute to propagate. It will not be an instant fix. So, and there we go. Let's make sure that is what I thought it was. Feel free to verify at home, or I guess on your computers. We're good to go. Good. That was a nice.
Explode.
No, I bought that. It's a made-up thing. I need to put my little. I gotta put my little comic guys in there. That's why I assume my comic guys work. So, yeah. All right. Cool.
Do you want to just run another scenario on your end,
Happy
and
to do so.
then I can?
All right. Not sharing. Questions on that one? That was a nice beginner one, but we can go more advanced.
For the purposes of this exercise, I'm sure you're setting your timeouts extremely short.
Mhm. Yeah.
Because by default, 5 minutes at least.
Yeah. You got to do it. Otherwise, these things take forever.
Yeah.
It takes long enough as is. So, yeah, good question. I got to remember what else I was going to break now. Yeah, I got it. All right, this one's a little bit more intermediate. I would encourage one of you guys to take the driver's seat, though, if you're willing to give it a shot. Under this gentleman's coaching and this gentleman's, both their coaching. He doesn't know exactly what I'm going to break. He has some idea what my usual tricks are, but. All right, that's all right. Okay, your startup's risk taker guy. Come on.
I'll give it a shot.
Okay, don't worry. This is not like the whole world's watching or anything.
Only 2 people are on the stream.
Yeah, we'll see if I can even break it appropriately. Let's go here. Yeah, that's good. Yeah, not over. It'll be 2 versus 1.
Are you in the StreamYard stream?
Oh wait, I'm in yours.
Can you share your screen or going through the process? Thank you.
All right. Like I said, this one's a little bit more intermediate. If you would, pull up explodeme.com and let me know what you see. My goodness. Boss comes running in the office, screaming the website's down again. You did? Boss comes in the office, screaming, website's down. What do you do? I'm pointing out his was ECS. If I'm breaking it, just to remind you.
US East 1, right? For the region. Top right. Changed from Ohio to US East 1. Yeah, should be at the top there.
VOC.
North Virginia. Click over here on the left. Sometimes it's a load right in. And go to functions right here. Yep.
Let me go exploding.com.
I think it's the www. It's the www one, right? For the.
Yep.
Yeah.
You are correct.
All right. Let's go to monitor. Okay. Duration. 3 invocations. Concurrency. Okay. Go up here at the top. Scope this down to 1 hour. Yeah, and then go over here. Those were success. Over here. Those were success.
Expand this.
Yeah, sure. Okay, so this exceeded. So let's look at the logs from here.
How do I do that? Exit out of this.
Yep, X out of here and then go to view CloudWatch logs.
Feel free to call it out, ask questions, communicate strongly, encourage collaboration. So feel free.
Sure. Let's see. Search all log streams in the top right to get the aggregate and scope down to last like 30 minutes. Next.js, network starting.
Yeah, I would recommend maybe scoping it down further. We can always go back to exploding.com and refresh a few times. If we want to see if we can generate some new logs.
I'll just do that for you now. Thank you, though.
Oh, and then refresh with the circle in the top
Yeah.
right. Yeah. Oh, no events found. Okay.
Yeah. Doesn't look like it.
Let's go back to the Lambda.
Would this be Lambda if it's a website?
It could be, yeah. Lambda can run like Node.
And Lambda is running Next.js node inside of it, so I can get you the code for it. It's if you go to github.com/grammatical, which could be an explosive.com.
Configuration. Let's look at permissions. So it has X-ray permissions. Okay. Scroll down a little bit more.
Yeah.
I'm looking for resource-based policy statements. So there's no resource-based policy statement that allows API gateway.
Bingo.
Okay, yeah.
So, just to summarize, did you say that around everybody?
Yeah, so the Lambda actually needs to allow API gateway to invoke it, and it doesn't have a resource-based policy that lets API gateway.
Perfect. Well done. Okay. Everybody.
I didn't do anything.
So,
It's all you.
yep. Oh my gosh. So I'm just gonna patch that up. You can keep sharing it. Never mind. Well, that's all right. I was gonna let so you could see what that would look like fixed real quick. Somehow I opened up 100 incognito windows accidentally. You queuing up another one? While I get this fixed up. Or, okay.
Yeah, sure. I can do 2 in a row as well if
Okay.
you want to do that.
Sounds good. All right, if you refresh the page now, you should see roughly what it would allow. But absolutely, that is 100% well done. You're pro. Ben, you should hire this guy.
All right, so we're back on images soar.
Never fears here.
Oh boy, that's one of my Discord mods from India. So
He's on the YouTube stream.
yeah, do you have anything pleasant to say?
Hey.
Okay. How's it going? Never fear.
And all right, so right now we can process images, everything's working correctly. And just do all right, we go back. Website's loading. Let's upload another picture. And we get upload failed.
Upload failed. My goodness. All right.
Yeah.
Who wants to be in the hot seat?
You guys want to take it again?
Yeah, all three of you guys tag team it. Yeah, you guys will get it. If you need help, call me in.
So the upload is handled by, Bobby, can you share your screen again?
Yeah, I think I am.
So,
Yep, I got it.
okay. If you actually go and open the console, you'll be able to see that it does a signed URL. So this returns, if I'm not mistaken, a signed URL that they will then post a binary to in this scenario there. So you should be able to see that if you check the console. So I would verify that. Sorry, I stared down the gun there.
Yeah, it's not like a direct S3 upload.
Oh, it's
like
not.
it does make a request to the back end.
Oh, well, oh yeah, but to get the signed URL first, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Honestly, I don't recall.
Oh, okay. Well, the
Yeah.
designer,
But I mean, that's,
the developer that built this does not remember, so we have to inspect it.
There's a typo in the domain. Let me just throw it in the chat if I can. Oh.
I am, hold on, I've got it open here. I am a GASAUR. SAUR, yeah. There we go.
This person. Try this person's on this.
So you guys are familiar with cores, I take it?
Cross-origin resource.
You use that definitely. I'm just challenging them. You guys have played around with that stuff before because that's not an AWS specific thing.
Back in college.
Okay. I'll let you, give the once over on that one.
It's basically a way to share one other domain to the website and access, if that's where from like request. So basically, prevent like someone from uploading malicious to a certain list that will try to whatever else or malicious stuff.
So cores return a header saying, hey, you can query this site. If that header is omitted for any reason, it doesn't either intentionally or unintentionally, then you can't query across from one site to the other. So.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's sort of that's what here. This is called header is set.
I will say that the cores issue is not the issue.
Well, that's what I was hinting at, is if the header is omitted for any reason. So it will trigger.
Feel free to push the desk around if you want
Yeah.
to pull a chair over.
Yeah, exactly.
So it looks similar to Lambda. We might not be getting any logs from the service for your request.
Right, try to put down certified good next stuff.
Yeah. So what he's looking at for you guys that might not know is so the load balancer is directing traffic to, we have multiple containers running ECS. And so the load balancer is distributing that traffic. The load balancer he's looking right now has listener rules that kind of determine what to do with traffic that's going through.
So traffic that goes to 443 or HTTPS, it basically says this is what you're doing. So, yeah. Well, so is the ALB. Yeah, the ALB has different rules for different ports. And security groups, if you're not familiar with this firewall, basically. It says that this can talk to this on port 80. So if there's not a rule saying hey, you can talk to this on port 80 or traffic on port 80 over here to talk to this on port 80, then there's trouble. Yeah. Same thing, it says 443 and 480 on this one, so we can get both HTTP and HTTPS traffic.
And it's trying to make sure the source is allowed to
So there's various traffic configurations here that we could mess with. This would, if there was a SSL cert rule or HTTPS and all that stuff that was looking wrong, I'd be looking in here a little bit. Yeah.
We'll jump back to listener.
Well, I'm going to send you the. Let's see.
Oh,
Well, explain what you're, can you explain this to them right now?
Each of the rules.
Here. Explain, what are we looking at?
so listener rules determine like how the traffic flows to the listener, depending on like host conditions or different conditions on the request itself. So you can actually route traffic depending on the attribute of what the request coming in.
So, and it follows in priorities. Priority 1 says that
All paths.
we'll get
Turn fixed response code. I don't know what to say.
You got me with this one too.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it's easy to fly over that, but yeah, that's the issue. So I mean, this is a misconfiguration that basically every request to the load balancer is just going to get a fixed response rather than be directed to the backend service. So I will share my
I
screen.
flew right over that one too. I looked at the other ones, like, okay, those other ones are in play, and then it's like priority 1.
I'm glad I'll step in because I'm about to jump into like security ECS cluster.
The security group was a good place to look as well, because like it could have done a similar issue where you wouldn't have been able to reach the ECS container. The firewall would block it, but if in the console, if you had looked at the specific request to the backend, like, so you guys were looking at the errors in the console, but if you looked at the network tab, you would see that like those requests to the backend server were all getting a 401, which if it was a security group issue with the firewall, you would get timeouts because it doesn't give you any kind of response. So your request is just going to spin until the browser says so, the timed out, basically. Does that all make sense? Do you have any questions about it?
Yeah. And the core's illusion, and you might have just said this, but I zoned out. The core's illusion was because that 401 did not include a header that says, hey, you can cross-call this thing. So
all I need to do is delete this rule. And we go back to the website. Oh, there we go. Let's see. We're able to upload images again, and it processed.
now, was that 1 or 2 that you just did there?
That was just one.
Okay.
But do you want to switch, or do you want to do
No,
another?
you go ahead. I'm going to check with Kelly and get the ETA on the pieces. But I think
Okay.
you got you just put the pieces. Well, we'll do at least one more than hopefully pizza, and then 2 more.
Just look over the next one. Coach, I will take over everything. Check what it is.
Let's see. It is, yeah. Yeah.
Kind of his username online is Stegosaur.
Yep.
So he just riffs off of that.
Let's see. Do you have a kind of more entry level one to do on yours?
I mean, I got, yeah, well, let me just take a look.
The ones that I queued up are
Pretty nasty.
yeah, more nasty.
No, but I got stuff you can do easy.
Either way, I've got an idea. I'll just make a change.
Sounds good, because I got a couple of them that we can do with your stack. I can do some with your stack if I had to. Or
Okay.
Jack does.
Yeah. Am I still sharing my screen? No.
All right.
I got a question.
Sure.
Will more advanced grades have multi-step failures, like multiple different misconfigure, or always be one item?
We kind of always do one item. We have sort of, at least when I've done it for Matt, like throwing in some red herrings, kind of.
Yeah.
But
well, I've got a Kobayashi Maru.
That's true,
That
yeah.
if I don't quite have prep, but if you really want to get into it, I can throw that one at you. It's the most devious one when I don't completely screw it up. But yeah, we've experimented with different ways of trying it. We could do multi-step ones. We generally try and keep them to 15 minutes though, so it's like basically when we do one of these, this is the first one done longer than an hour. And so we've got 5 minutes of intro, 15 minutes per, going, we have like kind of an after action report we do with each one, and then 10 minutes at the end of like, hey, what you learned and all that. And so we haven't done ones that are much longer, but if we had a bunch of guys like you, yes, I would do that. So, okay, tell me about AWS background. You certified? How'd you learn about it?
I just used it for a long time, used it in college, service providers, that get hired at a company in Madison. Yeah, been for 6 years.
Nice. Any, what's your favorite stack, or what are you using? Anything that we're not talking about?
I won't do Bedrock stuff, honestly.
Huh? Yeah, what are you doing on Bedrock?
What we're doing Bedrock.
Yeah.
Stay here over here, just lead it into
Oh, cool.
little AI models and stuff.
Nice. Yeah, I want to do more Kinesis and SUS. We don't have a ton of, we do use that a ton for different clients for production and my stuff. S3 just released the vector store.
Yeah, that's what we do.
Oh, I'm so excited for that.
They have you can import from a regular non-vectorized S3 bucket using it's called knowledge bases in Bedrock.
Mm-hmm.
And basically it uses Amazon has their own model for vectorizing all that data, like chunking it, because that's like the worst part of vectorizing is chunking all the data, getting it usable, setting all these like KNN parameters and stuff. And
Yeah.
just does it all of it for you.
I got a couple clients I want to use that with.
He's not listening. Say Robert.
Sorry. We're just nerding out over some cool tech I want to get your guys working on. So, yeah. So, yeah, that's definitely on my radar. I'm really excited when we do this in vector DVs.
Get rid of Snowball or Snowmobile. The one where they send a truck here to the center.
I haven't heard them using that in a long time. I think probably because the price have gotten so big, the internet, you don't need it as much and it wasn't as cost effective. But I haven't heard of how officially canceling it either, so it might just no longer be cost efficient.
It was at a similar presentation. Like Tim's chassis was out there, and they were all truck on the stage.
Oh, yeah.
Presenting in front of the semi truck.
I bet you there's got to be government stuff that needs that still. So I'm guessing that. You ready?
Yeah.
Sorry,
All good. So this will be a continuation of the last one, just to give us a little bit of direction. I would say that our last one is a little bit of a hint for resolving this one. But now when I visit the website, I refresh the page, the thumbnails do not load. And that is what is broken.
Yep. So it's probably the way to look at this.
I guess.
That's I just like in my regular work.
I call them breadcrumbs when I'm fighting fires. So you can find your way back once you realize you've gone off.
And well, just one thing that Matt and I talk about a lot is just if we, see a request failing, let's just follow it through and check every spot. I'm not saying you need to do that right now, but that's just pretty our pretty standard debugging practice is, let's follow the path and see, which try to hone in on which part is broken.
Connect the dots.
Yeah.
I think we should write a book on this.
Maybe. Yeah.
Collaborate on it.
Yeah.
So all of our requests will be search for the outcome.
So the request that's failing is the images one in that list. Yeah, there it just failed.
Oh, right there. API. So it is hitting API. So that's the that'll be up here in the, so the port is actually the list itself. So we could, yep. It's also not returning when we go to the status code down here, so it's probably not necessary. If it, wait, the time let's go to, I just set up coach, I'm like taking over here. Okay, let's check, go back to the load balancer itself. We'll click through that right there. Yeah, so that's top level. Let's check, first let's check security. Yep. And then click that to open the security group, which is like the firewall for the load balancer. And then scroll over to the right, see which,
Where the table is tracked.
there we go. So, all right, we're all like inbound. Go to outbound rules too. Just double check. Yeah. Okay.
There you go. Yeah.
Run this one plenty of times.
There you go.
So in this scenario, I just removed the outbound rule, and the outbound rule is so ingress versus egress, inbound versus outbound. That's like, requests coming in and then requests going out. And I removed the ability for the ALB to communicate with anything else, to ECS. Nice work.
Well done. We want to take 5 real quick and see. I think someone got here. Could be pieces, might not be.
I think Kelly would know, but I'll check.
All right, sounds good. You guys having fun?
Yeah.
All right, everybody learning stuff? Yeah. All right, cool. Yeah, we are just below the halfway mark here. If he doesn't yell back in a minute, you want me to boot up another one?
Sure.
Cool. All right, I'll start killing something here. Let's see. I'm not sure. All right.
You guys give me coaching on like order access time and script.
Okay.
Like, rather than a customer or your help desk telling you there's an issue, do you do coaching around?
Alarms, yeah. So that's something we've been wanting to experiment with more. So
Yeah, we haven't really done any scenarios with that, but I mean, that would be a great progression is like, okay, now we have an alarm go off and follow that.
Yeah, give you guys a system and be like, safeguard it, and then we start coming at it.
Yeah.
We use Prometheus on that.
Okay.
And
Yeah.
yeah, it's Slack channel, so it's Slack channel alerts. Once something fires in there, it's like, oh, great.
Mhm. Totally.
What's going on?
Yeah. So in AWS, typically, like I've used, there's a lot of different tools for obviously that kind of alerting and stuff. But in the AWS, you can build all of that out in CloudWatch, and you can send alerts to Slack or email or text messages via CloudWatch alarms and SNS. But you can build really custom things as well in the alerting. So particular log searches can get sent to alerts, different metrics from any of the services. Yeah.
You can like lambdas too, the alarms as well.
Yeah.
Remediation to kick in. We have that for like some servers that are long-lived, and sometimes they just fall over. They just need to be rebooted. Very good system design, just reboot the server.
Right.
But yeah, that's another good too.
There's also, I can't remember what the tool is called that's in CloudWatch as well, but you can create, and there's other services for this, like Pingdom, but you can create quite complex like health checks. So, the default would just be like curl a, host or whatever, and I want a 200, and if it doesn't send back a 200 2 times, you get an alert. But I think you're able to basically create a Docker container, which can do things like run day rate, or it will actually interact with your website or something to ensure that, certain workflow is working. You can do rather complex alarms.
I do one where I have a test device defined, and so it's all virtualized, but that just runs periodically, and if that fails for any reason, then that's an indication I need to go look at it.
Yeah.
Where did you guys are? You guys still driving? Somebody over there? This one's going to probably be a little more intermediate advanced, so you can feel free.
You want to do this one then?
Sure, let's do it.
So go to slowly.com and you're clicking around, and tell me if anything looks funny to you on any of the pricing or about pages. Blog, pricing pages, how many of those look a little funny? My goodness. That's like my tag.
Ooh. About the console, take a look. 403 forbidden. All right.
Just a reminder, pop stack, not a top stack.
Okay. All right. It's bringing back API gateway IDs, so it's probably hitting API gateway. It's probably hitting CloudFront. Error from CloudFront. But you said CloudFront is in front of API gateway too.
CloudFront is for that 3. Yeah.
All right.
Do you still have assets on S3 that go through CloudFront, or is it all API gateway to Lambda?
No, there's access to
Okay.
all the images and CSS. But next to it, inside the Lambda. That's how I like them to say it.
Is this what I think it is? This one down here. I'm just checking that platform path first. See which bucket it's going to. Split down.
I tend to use fairly verbose names.
I don't really have any idea which one this is. So
I get the 403 not that in there. Feel free to guess what I don't know.
Is this it?
Nope.
Oh, damn, okay.
So I believe one of the has is not like access for the cloud front. right? If you go back to the council. Yeah, we do that. Well, I guess. Yeah, so if you go back to the council and fill it out, when you look at the inspector there, I guess.
Yep.
What's the subdomain for the price in there?
It's gonna be www.
That's points that.
Okay, gateway, let's check.
You have to actually start at the front, check the DNS, is exactly what I'd be doing. If someone changed the DNS, happens more than you think. So, confusing part here, this is the really annoying part, is that API gateway subdomain that you use in Route 53 is also called cloud, which is really annoying. So if you hit edit, feel free to hit edit on any of those. It actually, this is one of the, I didn't put this Reddit herring in there. API gateway for some reason has its API gateway called cloud. They both exist in the edge network, that's why. But if you go to edit hosted zones up there at the top, you'll be able to see that the alias that it's selected at. Scroll down a little bit to the head. It is an alias. No, and an alias, that's my bad. It's basically, it's pointed to API Gateway Custom Domain. So if you go to API Gateway, are you familiar with API Gateway Custom Domains?
Yes, but I'm struggling with that.
All right, let's open up API Gateway in the council and I'll walk you through it real quick in the most basic way. I should have aliased that part. So if you go to custom domain names in the, right there, you can see that we have one for exploding.com and one for exploding.com. So click on that.
Just the
top one right now. Both, I mean, neither of this circumstance are fine, but don't worry about that. But you can see that this scroll down to the bit, this points anything up to exploding.com, API Gateway. This is, see, the API Gateway uses cloud as the DNS. Again, horrible on their point, probably use 1,000 hours at this point, but that's just not my message. So it is the point at the right spot. Now let's take a look, scroll down here. Now you can see it's the API, exploding.com, it's stage product. We'll leave it back to you guys now.
Okay.
Can you look at deployment history and see what just changed?
Actually, a good idea, yeah.
I'll scroll down over this.
Would this be people looking at deployment history?
That would, let me, it's already on screen, so I'll save you some time. If you go to exploding.com, that works. If you click on pricing, that breaks. How about any other pages? So, looking at the schema you saw on there, slash words.
Yeah.
What are we missing?
A catch-all.
Catch-all proxy route. Yeah, believe the catch-all proxy route. So I can restore it for you real quick. I'll show you what it looks like. Actually, now you can look at the deployment history and now you're good to go.
Really good idea.
And yes, that would have, in reality, do that. Look at the deployment history. That's 9 times out of 10. That'll help get you in the right direction.
Actually, hold on, let me just change my version.
Okay. So if you look at resources, you can see that just a minute ago, I think. But if you look at the resources, so that's a click on resources. And now, did it not restore? Hold on. It should have restored. It might just be taking a second to restore here.
I always feel like it's my first day in AWS whenever I use API Gateway.
It really is. I did not get this one. I was looking at that exact same thing and missed it.
Sorry, I forgot. which of my modules to repair here. I was in the wrong module, so joke's on me. All right. Okay. So now we got that. Now, if you click back to stages, Prod doesn't have it, but I'm going to use the magical powers of clicking deploy here to deploy that out to production now, deploy. And if you didn't. Oh yeah, it did. It did. Okay, cool. And if you want to go back to the website and check pricing or anything like that, it'll still be broken for a couple more seconds now. Just from that, so inside AWS, you got your little bunkers, right? And so there's some in North Virginia and there's some everywhere else. So we want images and video to get streamed very fast. What they do is they lease out or they create these bunkers that are outside of the main North Virginia, Ohio, that are probably in here in Madison, that gets you this information very quickly. Inside of the this actually is processed, so there's a proxy in Madison that processes that inside AWS to get that information. That's what both these do. They're edge networks. So it's thousands of these versus only 20, 50 AWS bunkers. And so it'll take a couple longer to deploy this than it would inside ECS or something. So if we refresh now, we're in the ball. Cool. With that said, it is lunchtime. So thank you guys for participating.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Appreciate it.
Thanks, Steve. Yeah. That's all you.
Missed the call.
Well, you see the actor was just sitting there like,
Oh, yeah, same. Yeah.
I heard somebody by a sysadmin who was way more contractor than the RS. He said they don't matter, don't use
It seems like
I actually
more like God is the whole
And it's we did get that on the recently, console.
yeah.
The reason went back on his legacy things was to retire. Migrated like the three stars like really some legacy migration like it's going it's like it'll be long term.
Yeah. Sure. So you the program game where we can use or is it running on like the GK like Kubernetes?
Yeah, a little bit. So like I'm very honest with this stuff. We have long-running instances which have been fantastic. Like there's a Google account and the system the other side was saying like, oh, this infrastructure is amazing. I have this instance that's been alive for 3 years. It's like, yeah, none of that's real. I know, but just enjoy it. Like I have a machine with enough time to move over 1,000 days, which is probably the way. You know, it's so yeah, yeah, you're 20 what pages I don't.
Yeah.
So yeah, actually, these like that level of knowledge is where I need to use for next. I don't know where to go for resources.
Yeah, it's honestly like I've been trying to like, build things is the best way to learn. I mean, you definitely get books for classes or the AWS certification, and they'll like, you know, the solution architect one is probably the broadest of like all the services. There's like so much AWS stuff
it was a young first because back when we were kind of deciding we wanted to measure and it's like, let's do a simple test of spinning up an instance in AWS. And it immediately was like, which of these acronyms is what I want? And it's like, now I have like 5 pages of instances to choose from.
Yeah.
Whereas GCP it was like, I want to make an instance of how many CPUs you want, how many much memory. How much disk.
Sure.
Okay, it's ready.
Yeah. Oh, that is nice. Even like, yeah, all it's the same and then classes for AWS. It's like, but I have to progress that every time I'm doing it because it's impossible to do this stuff.
That being said, I understand why AWS is so popular. Had like you were talking about this, like, there's this feature that's incredibly easy for people to know what they're doing. Like, yes, that is what I want. And their salespeople have always proposed like, this is exactly what you want to do. Okay, let's talk you through it. This group was kind of the, you know, look at this cool thing we built.
Yeah, no, it's like easy to understand. So, just days real experience, just building it.
And for the most part, GCP has been set up again. We set up with Kubernetes cluster 5 years ago.
I used to go like something on
it's my mind. There's so many different ways to run stuff. Probably not cost engineering it correctly.
Because all I just know is providers is like, you build any product. Where they that's what I actually started using for personal product. Some of the scale providers all digital code have things but they're cheaper and people should try for anything else. We actually like 3 billion pounds so if they are over budgeted and still just turn but yeah, I'll let the time. So it's so that costs of having oh yeah, and we actually there's actually more in this 3. I didn't think like I didn't think right now I'm pretty much support it all was it? There was some issue with how they were processing invalid and recycling. They're going to just sand it with large files, which have process data charge all these 3, but it didn't actually get invalid. I only
what has been your experience with building for that can be quite expensive?
You got to be sure. We're bringing up a lot of AI, so we can get like a lot of checking. The civil fund, approximation of excellent, be like, listing format for these things. If we made a custom data source that around how much business to pay for the first ingestion. And there's all of that. We also have some TAM. We can change. TAM is I did that 2 years work with it. That was great. You could just slap it like 2.5 and now I'm just here's the NBA.
Yeah, the reason I know is, you know, you're just like, yeah, everything's Sam,
Yeah. So I want to write it. Creating that we, yeah. When we would margin to, that's great. I'm able to. That's a lot of part of my culture is of the super requirement. And yeah, once everybody some skill. Because the skill that you have grows that type of fast or whatever at first, and just do each other stuff. So right. That's what it's like to live versus negative, right? This experiment. That's cool. Oh yeah, absolutely. It's like this last one I hired probably the 5 or that we've ever done hiring ever. Like that was close because we went through a COVID test where Joe had also offered that every night I on call to just like see all of the person side like just talking to them through that stuff with it's crazy. How just doing the very simple I love plus tests. Real people and all that. It's like with your speed or looking for this, all I gotta do is pretty good. Or it takes like 15 minutes. Number like, all right, thanks for coming here. Yeah. I used to work with that. So, my first college it was right before graduating and March. It was nuts. Also, we did so it's like we're seven, right? Before exactly. So like it's not good. It's part of the process. It's just such an odd versus COVID. We got someone here going around with that process. All that. We're back to the result of definitely try. I'm the only DevOps engineer I've heard of this. Socket more like 7 computers are still high stress. Nothing else like that. More compliance, better compliance, that was like a whole separate. Never. And in 56 points, I anything
it is, we started creating it, and it goes into how. So, and then also do the, you know, good for communities, right, environment, I think it's not crazy. We want to, we're going to stop ourselves. So, you have any other party that you want to do live? Basically, like, if you plug in with your access, and you have like something that you any third party provider that you plug in your environment that has access to that data also that are compliant to. Yeah, it's like
It's
we're like so what's your training before you yeah, I started that for the year. I started getting that. And that was I did a lot of stuff. So actually, the really software some of your knowledge and but yeah, understanding the example has two points that so you can flagship services blue I got questions on like operating the new S3 like team storage archive. I'm really sure it's just the only reason is getting very quizzing too much.
I haven't been able to do it, but I don't see it all for
Yeah,
yeah, the other one goes is like, yeah, it goes a little deeper on some instances, basic textures that I use quite a lot, right? Yeah.
No, that was the worst part. Yeah, 60 questions and spaces, so you could study S3 on like pro protein.
Right.
The ones that like only
Yeah, all the are controls.
I will say, I know that weird,
like, I mean, thinking
control tower, I still standardize, try to have one service where all the other APIs, so it's not terrible.
yeah.
And combination of the two.
Well, then they also have the USC as well.
Yeah, it's like,
Oh, I'm just thinking of it. As long as they're kind of cool, like, you're heard that, it's like, machine learning, like, software-based cars that they have been like, sort of
yeah, I never used that. I've seen, I was right over my AI.
Yeah.
I will say, some of the toddlers building out their prototype studio. Right, so I built the last day of the science or
So, sure.
that's a different word. It's somewhere around the
I've actually been reading about getting an education since Kubernetes cluster on projects. Because like, again, sometimes it works with like, not like a virtual server that, you know, I could run those like, you don't need to think about it and start with as much as just learning to, you know,
we're really where we're just running with functions that the cost.
Well,
The cost driven. We're going to work on it. We know we're probably work for our and moving us to their expensive.
Yeah.
So we're going to switch off like that. Like service. Hosting our Uber.
Oh, really? Yeah.
He's really
Yeah. I mean, right. It's like,
so
you're right.
right.
But it's great starting out and get on the like anything like $2 million plus for free or whatever. Just all gonna be this traffic. Right.
Even our minor list that we run it down is like matching profitable in that order. So it's like now we end up getting money out of it.
And obviously
We're together. Things for spectrum is like
get your own music.
yeah, exactly. It's like I feel like I'm stuff just
Yeah. Oh, I mean, you know, I feel like it's like a practical lens, or like every, you know, you look at it, it's kind of the same. Like, we were running stuff on Kubernetes at my old job, and I was pretty much the only best guy there. And I was like, look, like, even though ECS is going to be more expensive, like there's less work to be done to maintain it. So like we're going to ultimately, you know, stay long term with them. Like, for you know, tasks, like it's good. There's just so much more overhead to maintain the Kubernetes clusters.
Some student you're going to get market we just released some of the easiest conversions. You can actually run a script. They'll install what's called the easiest network agents on just Azure, Closet, we Raspberry Pi, close internet connection. And if we together, it will register itself as an external host. Waiting on software, you can run these workloads anywhere. With no Fargate pricing, no 92 pricing. If you have like a cheap data set somewhere, you can run racks in there. Using CSR full orchestration there. Yeah, we're going to use that. It's just. We'll see anything to be honest, we don't break the thing with gas and stuff, so pretty weird. We're just private security over slush. Never gold day. They don't play that. Yeah. I'm just.
Thinking about that before, I seem really familiar in this. Right. Did you go to any of the I think it's the people from your Yeah, he said, Joe, yeah, Jim, Joe, yeah, like that.
And you guys are good with, AWS, simulator?
I had, I've done scenarios with it. It's a lot harder than one of those other movies. It is, look, as you can tell, scenarios are running through it, like, the ultimate root cause is a lot frequently this configuration, which, like, in the real world, that actually happens a lot, but usually it's like, you know, one and done, like this configuration type thing, or one of the new environments. So I would experiment with that bias because you can't really simulate actual, you know, availability of boundaries, things like that. But the results were a lot harder to kind of predict, and it was just harder to implement. So I was trying to use ECS to simulate CPU usage sites, and like I couldn't get any users from direct data to do that. That was kind of easy. I also really did this with availability failures, but it didn't really represent it in the same way that like having experienced with availability zone failure previously didn't represent it to the exact same way. Yeah.
Those are fun. It's like, tool work is like, I don't think
Yeah. There are services like, I know Harness, the company that you can do, maybe not availability analysis, but similar, like if you're running Kubernetes, you can run basically one of their tasks and then they can simulate, you know, like pod guiding and things like that with Kubernetes cluster.
what happened to the task, like the networks project, where it was like, you would do that, but like,
I mean, that's still a thing. It's possible that Harness, I can't remember what the open source project is called. It might be called Litmus, but that's what their product is built off of. And it's built off chaos like engineering principles. But I don't know if they actually use the chaos open source project or they have to.
You guys want me to back it up a little bit, or you must?
My column. Yeah. So it.
this is fun.
Good.
Real stuff.
Just get warmed up for it.
Come on, the call, we're being around this, Matt, we're doing this, we got people online, so.
Yeah, you just for like, like, thought of the highlight of your job.
Yeah, that's part of the,
Yeah, and that's. We have to master for it, on education, and just, you know, people that are newer, kind of getting somewhat real world experience to systems, but also, yeah, like verifying people's skills, seeing how they actually interact with, you know, unknown systems. Yeah.
So you have to do it, cover talent, so. You gotta get hard.
If any of you guys are willing to relocate for 5 days or drive there twice a week, let me know.
How you feeling?
There's a job waiting for you. Well, direction is after the.
Yeah. I don't think we'll be right back.
Yeah.
I think it's the end. I don't think we'll be right back.
Thank you guys for joining.
Yeah, it's nice to meet you.
Everyone's supposed to be. All right. We're gonna go work on it. Cool. Very positive.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Well, you did pretty well. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, what do you? And I think that, like, I mean, it would have been nice if, like, if people showed up, but we can't expect people to stay free.
Yeah.
Well, you warmed them up nicely. First thing, it was smart, fish, and then.
He's one of our odds, right? How quickly people have gel and then like work together.
Salami and cheese, that was gonna be my lunch.
We should have done, oh, I guess you do have the, I was gonna say like QR code for mailing lists.
Yeah.
Are they on?
Well, I mentioned it, I said, you guys want to use again, it's probably